Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Talking to Myself, the part of the day where I talk to myself about things that I was thinking the night before while laying in bed. Shout out, of course, to all 1,000 subscribers at the time of making this video. I truly do appreciate it, as well as shout out to Fujifilm US for supplying me with a lot of this gear. Today I'm shooting with the XS10 with my 23 1.4 on there. I'm recording audio on the camera as my scratch audio using the TACSTAR SGC598. And I'm recording the audio right now. You're hearing from the lapel that is actually from the TASCAM DR10L. Comes with a TASCAM DR10L. This is a juxtaposition between this and the SYNCO G2A2, which I've been using for the past couple of videos. Just a heads up about the SYNCO G2A2. I have contacted SYNCO. I have worked with it. I have done everything that I can, working with the camera's preamps, recording externally into a Zoom HN1. Even recording directly into, linking it directly into a computer. I can't get that little hiss and that little white noise out of it. I'm not sure what it is. I've even checked to see if it's RF interference and if I have anything with that. I mean, it's just, it's a great wireless system. It's pretty great. For $200, you can get two different, transmitters and one receiver. I mean, it's very handy. But for someone like me who is a stickler for audio, I mean, honestly, every time my audio is like subpar, the fact that I don't have sound treated rooms in my house, I cringe quite a bit for every video. But especially for someone who's not going to have a talking track underneath. Something like this Tascam DR10L or the Zoom, I believe the F1N or something like that, they're standalone lapels, would do fantastic for you. Even the Rode wireless mic Go's, they're fantastic, the single ones, or you can get the Go 2, which has two transmitters and one receiver, just like the SYNCO G2 or G2A2. I would probably recommend those over anything else. Now, this Tascam DR10L is a standalone recorder that records into itself. It records two tracks. It's not a stereo track, but it records one track at the level that you set your gain to, and as well as a second track is a safe track, basically recording that at about 10 decibels lower so that you can still use the audio. If you ever blow your main track, you at least have that safe track. It's a great tool. I use it in weddings. I've used it in talking head situations, interviews and things. I've even used it a couple times lapelled to basically a table for my scratch audio for ambience for whenever shooting a commercial. It's a great little recorder, handy thing. It comes with a great lapel mic. You'll be able to hear the audio from this. What I should have done with the G2A2 is not edit the audio so that you could have seen exactly how it sounded without it. I've already sent the G2A2 back in my mind. I knew after testing, and I took a couple days, that there was no need for me to test it anymore and have it on the channel, just because I didn't want anyone to basically associate the SYNCO G2A2 with me and think that, oh, okay, it must be a product that I would recommend, because it's not. I mean, for as cool as it is, $200, it's great. The fact that you get two transmitters whenever something like the Tascam DR10L, as of right now, I've seen on, you have to purchase it for around $160. Whenever I got this, it was $88. These have gone up in price, and just seeing how much you can get in one little kit, it's a great option for that. But as far as for what I would say usability and actual bang for your buck, you'd be better off spending that on just one receiver or just two of these, and either go with the wireless mic Go or go with the Tascam DR10L or the Zoom whatever is opposition to this, the Zoom F1N. Nothing against SYNCO. They're working really hard and they're actually coming up with some good stuff, and I'm sure they're going to get it eventually. It's just as far as good noise quality, it has a super duper it's a nice thing to EQ, but as far as the noise floor, too much hiss, there's too much to really work out, and that's basically that. But last night I was thinking, because whenever I was getting home, I was laying in bed, I was talking to my fiance and whatnot, we're just goofing around, but whenever she rolled over to go to bed, I was sitting there thinking, someone asked me like, well, what are you carrying in your daily carry bag? And I don't really carry a daily carry bag anymore. It's one of the benefits of Fujifilm. Usually I just have a strap around the camera of choice I'm using. Right now, I'm using the X100V. This is going to be my go-to for as long as I decide it is. I know that I'm not a 35mm effective focal length kind of guy, but I just told myself get over it, because it's a nice camera. And honestly, I could put a side-by-side comparison with these, but basically just hear this. This thickness, the width is basically the same, just this is barely bigger than the XS10 and the XE4. And so I know what you're thinking, well, it's got better at focusing in the XS10, the XE4. Why didn't you go for that? Well, the simple reason is this. No lens that I put on the XS10 or the XE4 is going to be as slim and as small whenever I have it in this function as the X100V. And the built-in ND filter is another thing that's amazing because I can turn it off and turn it on. And it just kind of makes it a pick up, grab and go thing. Also, my fiance's used one of these in the X100T, so I feel confident in her ability to take photos. Now, I will eventually get an XS10, but when thinking about it, I don't need an XS10 at this moment. I honestly could just spend $140 and buy a nice monitor to put on my XH1 to record these videos and have the same effect and have a bigger screen. So it's not that I'm not going all in for the XS10 and I don't fully believe in it. It's just the fact that I don't need it right now at the moment. So I'm actually gonna wait until the XS10 goes on sale, because I'm telling you, it will go on sale with the XT30 Mark II being announced, and the fact that, well, it basically doesn't have anything new in it except for a new processor. That's just me being honest. And the fact that the XH2 is coming out as well, people are probably gonna be selling their XS10s, I guess, in about 2 months for around $600, and then I'll grab one. But until then, I'll just buy a monitor for the XH1. I'll keep rocking with this, and I'll keep shooting what I need to shoot. There's a thing of having too many options, and I don't want to give myself too many options. The XH1 is strictly for right now at this point work, and whenever I want to use a 50mm, I'll take the grip off and use that with family. But as far as everything else, the X100V is going to be more than enough, especially for travel. If I want to record video, I have a DJI Osmo Action. It's not like I'm really hurting. So as far as my daily carry, the camera that I'm taking, I honestly do take this with me everywhere. It slips in my bag for whenever I'm at work, just in case I want to take photos of stuff. It comes with me whenever we go to the store with my fiance and whatnot. I'll just put my strap on it and just carry it. At least it's going to either stay in the car or it's going to stay on me, one of the two things. This is actually a daily carry item that I have. The second thing is my Samsung Galaxy S20, I believe this is the Ultra. This will be my last Galaxy phone. I've been super disappointed with this. I've been super disappointed with the response and super disappointed with the camera. I don't need to pretend like a certain phone just because it's a flagship is a good phone. I feel like there's no need for that. I am an Android and BlackBerry guy. I've used an iPhone for quite, a few years and whatnot, and I've liked it, but there's not really limitations in iPhones, but there are a whole bunch of things that I don't like about iPhones, especially the fact that they are not meant at this point to be to hold the phone for multiple years. So me personally, I used a BlackBerry Classic and also a BlackBerry Key 1 for quite a long time. I switched a couple years ago. I had an iPhone, and then I switched to this Galaxy because I was tired of my iPhone bugging up and basically crashing a lot. And this has been the exact same basically feeling as my iPhone. I'm looking forward to the Google Pixel 6 and the Google Pixel 6 Pro with the Tensor chip. The main reason is because they promise about 6 years of firmware or of software updates and about a decade, because that's what they expect the lifespan of the phone to be, of security patches. And so for me, that'll be more than enough because I can stick with it. It'll have an amazing camera, which is mostly what I need. I would love for this to be, for this phone to be something I could take with me and take photos, and this be my camera when I'm out and about. But I can't trust it the same way I couldn't trust an iPhone's camera. And you can say whatever you want about the iPhone's camera being great and whatever, but unless you had the Google Pixel XL and you've used the Google Pixel camera, listen, it is not just about the different lenses and whatnot. Like, the photos out of Google Pixel are different because of the processing. They're just different. The way you can edit them, the way you can move them around, they're just different, and they're just better. Video, not really worried about it, but when it comes to photos, I don't want this in my hands anymore. I can't wait for the Google Pixel 6 to come out. But this is my everyday carry. I also have an Essential phone. Yes, the Essential phone. Don't really use that. And I also have a BlackBerry Classic still in the closet, but unfortunately, battery just drains too quick, so I can't really call that a feasible use. As far as a wallet, my fiance bought me this HERSCHEL wallet, and it is a Tile collaboration, so it's not RFID, but if they're gonna get you, they're gonna get you, so who the hell cares? And this, it actually carries some business cards, some stuff for haircuts, a little tile tracker, and it'll also carry, a few things. I have my work ID, that way I can just scan it and go in, and a couple cards, ID, a debit, and a credit card from Chase Bank. So this is fantastic. This is a must go for anyone, especially those of you who lose your wallet a lot. I love slim wallets. I'm a front pocket guy because unbeknownst to me, I thought that everywhere you went there were pickpocketers and people that would literally try to slip shit out of your back pocket. I did not know there were places like Canada to where people don't jack you. You know, Peter McKinnon's having a big wallet in his back pocket. Never, I mean, honestly, bro, don't spend more than a week in America, because you wouldn't hang. So anyway, or at least if you're not visiting a suburb for one of your YouTube friends. But yeah, this right here, fantastic wallet. It links up to my phone. I'm able to track it. It's great. I would recommend this to anyone. Tyler, if you're listening, you're watching, I will definitely sponsor you, because this shit works. I lose my wallet at least once a week, and I tell her where's my wallet, and she has to say just ring it. And so I ring it, and it's awesome. So shout out Tyler for that. Usually I carry a knife or something on me. Recently I've just been carrying this, you know, that third little front right jean pocket. I carry this right here. This is my Leatherman OHT or whatever it's called. Anyway, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's Leatherman. It has a whole bunch of stuff. It has like 5 or 6 blades. It has this right here. I actually just lost this week off my keychain my Leatherman, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, not this week, a couple weeks ago, my Leatherman Micro. And so that's the reason why this has been carried with me. I have an old timer knife that I use, and also a Kershaw blade, but they're in some kind of tech pouch or something right now, and I can't remember where it's at. So I just carry this because this comes a little bit more in handy. That's why I had the other Leatherman, a little Micro on there, and so this is nice too. So Leatherman, carry this with me, everyday carry. You don't have to, but I always have a knife or some sort of scissor on me, just because, you know, it comes in handy, and also you can just play with stuff and carve stuff out. As far as a watch, I have this right here. This is a Casio. I don't know which one this is. It's a Casio. It looks like a 3224F-108WH. Maybe that's it. This is what I wear probably about 70% of the time. Other than that, I wear a couple Fossil watches, a silver and a leather wristband one, but the leather one, the battery just died. So yeah, this one I've had for almost about 6 years, and the battery still hasn't died. It's great. So I use this. This is a Casio watch. Not really much else to use. I also have a Galaxy watch. I just don't use it. If you'd like a Galaxy watch, honestly, PayPal me $40 and I'll send it to you, because I don't use it. So, but yeah, this is way better. The Galaxy watch is cool and all, but I'm just tired of accidental, you know, bumps and nicks and stuff like that here and there, and it doesn't work too well with Google Message, and that's what I use. So it just doesn't work well with Google's Messenger app. So it just kind of sucks. But yeah, it's the one, tells the time. It's all I really need. So that's all you really need, honestly. This right here, this $10 watch tells the exact same time as a Rolex, and it also beeps during the hour, which is super duper cool. So shout out to Casio for making this. But I'm not the kind of person that really invests in watches, just because I think it's a trivial, stupid thing to do, especially because they have to be tuned, they all need a battery. Like, it's just dumb to me. There's certain luxuries that seem like, if you're buying and you can afford it, go for it. But at the same time, if it doesn't make you money, you just seem like a dumbass to me. And the last thing that I carry daily, and yes, it has been checked, this is empty. This is my SIG P365. I live in Texas, so at this point, you don't need a permit to be able to carry. I have my Raven concealment holster right here. I'm big on Second Amendment. I'm so far left, I got my guns back. I am what you would call a non-bitch socialist, meaning that you won't step to me because I can whoop your ass, and I'm not a bitch about it. And so, you know, whatever you think about that, and however your political views are, I just want people to have universal health care. I just want people with children or people who get diagnosed with cancer to not go bankrupt. And people not to make money off that. And if you're against that, that's cool. You're un-American and you're a piece of shit, so it's whatever. And I'm also against, you know, the exploitation of, you know, basically workers and stuff like that. So unfortunately, because of that, I tie myself with the Socialist Party. If you're one of the people that cry about welfare and stuff like that, you should check which political party actually has more people on welfare and what race has the most people on welfare. So yeah, this is my SIG P365 right here. I have on the 12-round magazine. Usually in this, I carry RIP rounds. I don't really know exactly the weight of them, but the RIP rounds. My Raven concealment holster covers the trigger guard, makes it super nice. Basically, right here, I'm not gonna take it off just for safety, even though I know it's cleared. It's got a nice little clip. This is one of the ones to where, you know, you don't, I mean, the reason why I have this, and I've had people tell me, why would you have that? Because once you draw, you can't put it back in. And here's the thing, I hope to never use this. Okay, if you've ever been through any kind of gun training, if you've ever been held at gunpoint, if you've ever shot a gun, you understand that you can't get anything that comes out of here back. Once you shoot, it's gone. So I hope to never use this. This is a last resort. This is if I can't retreat. This is if I can't de-escalate. This is if I can't fight. And this is if I have to fight for my life. I hope to never use this. I hope to never be in a situation where I have to play the hero. And here's one thing, if you're a gun owner, if you're a gun advocate and things like that, and you say things like, I wish someone would try, or if that was me, I would. Listen, you need to give up your guns, because you're the issue. You're what's wrong with the gun community. It's this toxic, weird ass behavior to where you boost yourself up and you're in this like hero idea. That's people that like storm the Capitol, people that like open up fire and shit like that. And listen, when it comes to that and it comes to guns, I believe that people should be allowed to arm themselves with the same things that our shitty military, not the military personnel, but our military leaders are giving people in order to act out what they want against the American people. So because of that, I just have to say, if you're the kind of person that says, oh, I would, or I train, oh, especially if you're the kind of guy that's like, there's millions of hillbillies that listen, y'all don't know what it's like in the suck. Y'all don't know what it's like in combat to be fired at and have to fire back at people. Stop glorifying war. Stop glorifying discharging your weapon. Stop glorifying stopping mass murders and stuff like that. Stop glorifying having to use this in a situation. That would be the shittiest thing ever. Because here's the thing, if you're someone who glorifies it and you don't really know what that's about, you're one of the people that when shit hits the fan, you're having an accidental discharge or you're hitting someone with a ricochet and you're killing and hurting people more than you are helping. You're literally just a target and you're literally not even doing anything. So stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Gun owners, please stop the buku stuff. Please stop the, oh, I gotta get ready, you can never know when it goes down. Yeah, that's the point of wearing this. That's the point that I carry this around. To be honest with you, there's a whole demographic, like if I go out in public, and I'm just being honest, if I go out in public and I know there's gonna be a whole bunch of certain affiliated, gun advocates that frequent this place or have recently defaced this place, that's when I carry this. That's when I'm more inept to carry this and be more aware. You want to know why? Because those are the people most likely to pull out a gun and pull some stupid shit over a disagreement. So stop glorifying guns and stop glorifying discharging your weapon. You can't get these back, dog. You can't. So stop it. You can't get this back. You can't get any bullet that comes out of here. You can't take it back, and you can't unshoot someone. You can't undischarge your weapon. So be wise with that, man. Be responsible. On it I have right here, it's a HOLOSUN mini red dot. It's a mini reticle. I forgot what the MOA is, but it's fantastic, honestly, man. This thing is great. I'll change the battery in November, but if you've never shot with a red dot, by the way, and you never trained with it, don't put a red dot on your primary weapon until you train with it. Just a heads up, because it does take a while to be able to shoot. But yeah, this is great for me. This works for me. It's super duper light and compact. I'd say this is less than probably less than, I don't know, right now it's maybe a pound, less than maybe 2 pounds. I also have a 15 round magazine, a 10 round magazine, depending on what I'm doing. Carry this quite a bit, and we'll carry it even more, especially now that everyone else will be carrying. Just be wise, dude. Don't be looking for trouble. Don't be looking to start shit. Don't be telling people, oh, if that happens, I got you. You don't want that to happen. Because here's the thing, if you have to ever discharge your weapon at a church, you have to discharge your weapon at a mall, discharge your weapon in an altercation, chances are you're having to do that because someone already is threatening the life of someone else, or is taking the life of someone else, or is injured someone else. Why would you want to be in that situation? Why would you want that situation to pop up? If anything, you pray and you hope against that stuff happening. Be smart, dude. Like, you're not a military veteran. You were too scared to get in the military. You're a pussy about it, okay? You're not an officer of the law. You're too lazy to join the police academy, and you're a pussy about it. You're not, the militia, okay? You're not. You're a dumbass who is able to purchase a gun like everyone else in America whenever they have a clean background check and whenever they're not a domestic violence abuser. That's it. That's it. Or you bought it legally. There's nothing cool about you. There's nothing special about you for owning a gun. There are more guns in America, or just as many guns in America as people. Nothing's funny, nothing's cool about that. Nothing's cool about what you can do with a gun, how often you go to the range. If anything, you're just wasting money. Train, 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 train. I always believe that. Make yourself aware of everything going on, but at the same time, dude, stop being a dumbass, because you're a dumbass. Quit looking for shit and quit hoping something happens, or quit daydreaming about how you're gonna save people. That's pathetic. You're pathetic. Go to hell. Anyway, so that's basically what I carry every single day. And that's it, man. I usually have a hat on just because I like hats. I don't have to do my hair. My hair is super curly and it's humid, so it gets super duper hot. Every once in a while, I'll carry my DJI Osmo Action. I have that hooked up to one of those sweet little, what are they called? The Manfrotto Pixie tripods that I showed you guys before. Those are great for everything. I actually took apart a tripod that was breaking and ended up making like 3 or 4 like little rigs with that, like kind of like an overhead rig and stuff like that. Anyway, so now I'm back, I'm back to this little guy right here, another X100 model. And we'll see, I'm liking it right now. You guys, one of the things about the X100 models and having a single lens is you have to stop comparing it to interchangeable lens systems, because it shouldn't be compared to that. Compare this to the Ricoh GR3, compare this to, the F10, the X70. A fixed lens system is a fixed lens system. You're gonna get the camera chatter. You're gonna get the, the XYZ with weather sealing, having to put on more stuff and it making it larger, or the lens area stick out further. You're gonna have to deal with the weight. You're gonna have to deal with everything. But the pros and cons are just, the fact that I've got one lens, boom, that's it. The fact that it can do so much, the fact that, I've got a leaf curtain shutter or whatever it is. The fact that I can do more flash, like there's pros and cons with everything. Basically, stop looking at this like an X Pro camera, and stop, basically trying to compare this to other full frame or micro four thirds APS-C cameras. Like the X100 line is the X100 line. You're either gonna love it or hate it. It's not anything wrong with the camera. It's not anything wrong with you. Everyone just has their preferences. If you don't like it, just trade it, just sell it. I could probably trade this for an X Pro 3 again. I could probably trade this for, honestly, people like have been offer me like before, they offer me stuff all the time, like, hey, how about a Ricoh GR3 and an XC4 and a 35 f2, etc., etc. Like, someone will want this if you don't like it, but don't knock it and say it's a shitty camera or, man, I don't like it. Like, that was my mistake for doing that, just because I didn't like the 35mm focal length. But once I stopped thinking of 35mm as 28 or 50 and just realized, like, hey, it's 35. Quit being a little bitch and just shoot with it the way it's supposed to be shot. Things got a little bit better. Actually got a lot better. I'm actually enjoying it right now. If I want a wider focal length, I could just buy the WCL2, the 28mm effective focal length adapter for it. It still stays pretty sharp on that, supposedly, and the focus doesn't really change. And so if I really want 28mm, I can just grab that, and it also weather seals this. So 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. That's basically it. Thanks for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a good one.